goddamn right I'm angry.
Well, Jack is young.
Passionate, hot-headed, but at the same time a great heart and an utter commitment to the well-being of the family.
Can't win without a leader.
I can lead him.
They won't follow you. Not yet.
He has no lack of love or respect for Jack. It's simply that he's not yet mature enough to be able to take the responsibility or understand the complexity of the circumstances. Spencer is several years older, a different kind of personality, perhaps one that seems to Jacob to be more useful in this kind of conflict.
She goes to the post office every day and just hoping for a telegram to have arrived from Spencer, and there never is.
If one comes, I'll send Stephen with it. They spared the carriage ride.
The courage allows me to remove hope early so I can get on with my day. One of my favorite scenes I shot, I was just driving in my little buggy down a beautiful path. I had two outriders, the character of Jack and Zane, and we were way up in the hills. And they had a drone, so there was no one around. There was no camera or crew. And it was amazing. It was like absolutely being there. I really had a moment of utter reality. It was brilliant. I had no lines to say as well, which was an advantage. We've sent for the doctor.
What for?
For you.
I think at this point, Emma has just given up. She just doesn't feel like she has a purpose. She doesn't see a future. And I think she feels almost a sense of betrayal that John has left her. And she just wants the pain to be over, and she just wants to be with him. Tragically, Emma ends her own life.
It's within reach psychologically, a very truthful thing that happened out of incredible depression.
This isn't what you promised. You haven't lost anything that I haven't lost. I'm an orphan too now. And all we have is each other, and I don't even have that.
Of course, Jack went through a huge loss, as did Elizabeth, and people choose to grieve in completely different ways. I don't believe Elizabeth ever had the intention of stepping away from their love, but I think it was a wake-up call for Jack.
He needs to step up, and he does. You don't need a wedding to get married. We're standing in front of God right now.
Elizabeth has chosen Jack time and time again throughout the series. This is the first moment that we really see Jack choose Elizabeth.
It was a nice scene to film. Beautiful scenic view of the mountains behind us.
Just the feeling in the air, the vistas that you're looking at, just like that. They're just standing alone in the middle of nowhere.
No more log and sod for you. It's yours.
Banner Creighton ends up being bribed and is given a mansion. Fortunately, we were able to come into town and find this mansion that was one of the Copper King's mansions. So we built fabulous draperies and furnishings and had a lot of fun with it.
That's incredible.
Whitfield's a shark, and he's thinking of the future.
His marching orders really are to clear as many ranches as possible, by any means possible, because that's where the minerals are.
He wants to buy it all up and strangle the Dutton properties. The valley's changing. There are opportunities beyond cattle, which isn't much of a business these days. More of a dream, really, and not a good one.
Well, it's our dream.
It was very cold, fucking freezing, and she's a wonderful, fine actress. I remember meeting when I was 17 years old and we were both in Britain's Royal National Youth Theatre. One of the best Cleopatras I've ever seen.
Tiana is traveling through the Badlands, trying to get back home. For a 16-year-old who hasn't been outside behind like a mile radius in 5 years, it's terrifying. Tiana gets down dirty with a wolf. In actuality, it was so freaking cute.
Belasakyo.
Tiana. Billy Khale. Meeting Hank, he vows to protect her and bring her to a safe space. I think in that moment when he says, "You're runs his horse's daughter," and it's so special for her because she's like, oh, this is actually happening, I did it. This is giving her that energy to move forward.
I need to book passage to America.
America? How do you expect to do that?
It's really this grand journey. These two people that
care so deeply for each other, and they're trying to make it back to Montana.
Did you send a while?
Shooting at an actual port in Africa with 20 period boats and cars and 200 background, it's just a blessing as an actor to have that ability to just fully immerse yourself. And everywhere you look, it is what your character's doing. You are where your character is. And the wardrobe is great.
The fishermen, they wore kukoi cloths. That was very important for us to find the proper cloths from the period 100 years ago. Part of my crew traveled up to Kenya to buy the proper cloths. That was such an adventure. And I have what's called a distressing team, and they are masters of what's called the breakdown and the aging. I love distressing because it's kind of like painting the costume.
This is it.
This is what?
Our ship.
What is it? Alex and Spencer find a very spooky-looking tugboat. That's their only option.
Come aboard.
They hop on with this strange, wacky man. Peter Stormare, who plays Luca, is so incredible as the captain, and pretty immediately face a lot of challenges. They are suddenly having to pilot the ship on their own, and Luca's dying and coughing up blood, and pretty quickly they get hit by a ghost ship. They are fighting for their lives once again.
3, 2, 1, action!
I'm a bit of a nutter, so I just like doing everything. I like getting dirty and getting tossed around. Everything's gone off without a hitch, and they've got your back, and you're safe, and they've evaluated everything to the end of the earth, and they're there cheering you on, and you want to make those guys proud. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Cable came this morning.
Finally, one day, just as things are really getting to their breaking point, she receives a telegram saying that he's on his way. Of course, being on his way, that's quite a long way back from Africa, and anything can happen in between.
This Behind the Story is brought to you by Tractor Supply for Life Out Here. 1923. All episodes now streaming exclusively on Paramount+.